me carefully. To a large extent, if you have not learned how to pray in the spirit, you are limited in prayer. What is praying in the spirit? Hear me carefully. Hear me carefully. Praying in the spirit means three things. Number one, it means praying in tongues. To pray in the spirit means, number one, to pray in tongues. Because there are limitations in your local dialect. There are limitations. If you pray in your natural language, there are limitations. So prayer in the spirit is speaking in tongues. Number two, to pray in the spirit means to pray under the influence or Holy Ghost directed prayers. To pray in the spirit, number two, means to pray Holy Ghost directed prayers. To pray under the inspiration of the Holy Ghost. There are times you have your prayer topics. You want to pray for your business. You want to pray for your children. Instantly as you are praying, the Holy Ghost will inspire you and say, pray for your mother. At that time, every other prayer topic is inconsequential aside what the Holy Ghost is leading you to do. There are many Christians who have put God in a box in their prayer. They have a rigid system of prayer. Nothing changes it. You may be limited because you may be praying, but I'm telling you, when you pray Holy Ghost directed prayers, they bet more results. Sometimes in the spirit, you want to pray and the Holy Ghost says, worship me for the next 1 hour. Don't pray, worship. That worship instantly becomes prayer. We call it Holy Ghost directed prayer. And most of you, when the Holy Ghost drops it, you reject it. He drops it, you reject it because you have a timetable. Number three, to pray in the spirit means to pray in the energy of the Holy Ghost. It means to pray in the energy of the Holy Ghost. Number one, we said to pray in the spirit means to pray in tongues. Number two, to pray in the spirit means to pray in the inspiration of the spirit. Number three, to pray in tongues means to pray in the energy of the spirit. Hear me carefully. Anybody, whether he calls himself a prayer giant or a prayer warrior, a prayer tower or a prayer watchman, there are times your energy cannot fulfill a prayer demand. Everyone here, there are times the moment you begin praying, sleep takes over. It may be happening now. There are times you start praying, all of a sudden discouragement. Sometimes you start praying, you just feel sudden stress. Have you ever started prayer? You know you want to pray for 2 hours. When you started for 1 minute, in your mind, you knew you won't go far. Has it happened to you? Lift up your hand if it has happened to you before. You know it's a 1 hour prayer, but when you started, the way the tongues was going, brabobo, brabobo, you just knew that you can't go far. It has happened to me several times. There was a time I woke up around 4 o'clock. I was praying. That was not my original tongues. I realized another tongues has taken over. I knew I won't survive. And I said, Holy Ghost, quicken me. Quicken me. You see, sometimes one of the best prayers you can pray is, Lord help me. Lord help me. You see yourself as a champion. That's your problem. Listen, every praying man is a helped man. So you say, Lord, help me. So at that time, you see, in Psalm 80, the verse 18, he says, quicken us and we will call upon your name, which means you will need a quickening that is not normal. There are times you know that this prayer you just prayed for 3-4 hours was not you praying. It has happened to me several times. You will know that a spirit has enveloped you, brewed out upon you, placed his hand upon you. Listen to me. The hand of God came upon Elisha and he overtook the chariot of Ahab, which means the hand of God can quicken you to do things that normal human beings cannot do. Listen, under the inspiration of the Holy Ghost, I have prayed for 24 hours. 2 a.m. to 2 a.m. under the inspiration of the Holy Ghost. It was not my power because the human body cannot. By the time I got to 18 hours, I was about to have a heart attack. Until a hand took off my heart in a vision and replaced it with a metallic heart. When I came out of the vision, I was able to sustain the next 6 hours to finish that 24 hours. So hear me carefully. You will need the energy of the Spirit to travel in prayer. So anytime you find it hard to pray, enter Spirit. Ask for energy. Holy Ghost, quicken me. Quicken me. Help this mortal. Quicken me to pray. I'm teaching you something serious here.